Hi folks, Dr. Jim Gishwin here, PhD. Well, a lot of stuff in the news. Got Nikki Haley. Well, she should be, she'd probably sit there and win in a primary against Biden in the Democratic side. That's where she ought to go on campaign. Because everything she's saying is from what her Democratic donors are telling her to say. People like Soros and whatnot. She's a globalist. Speaking of globalist, that's what this whole thing's about. Okay, global communism, global socialism, coming from the Davos Group, the World Economic Forum, and Karl Schwab, okay, telling us what to do, what to eat, how to think. We're not allowed to think this way. We're not allowed to do this. 1984 all over. The marriage of business and government is already happening. Fascism is happening right now. Totalitarianism is upon us. Okay? We were warned that nationalism is good. Trump set the stage for this. Now other countries are picking up on it, that they're allowed to be nationalist. Their country first. Like Ecuador, Argentina, Hungary, and Italy. Each one of them have gotten up in front of the World Economic Forum, in front of Karl Schwab, to deny globalism. Now, hey, globalism is not working. Trump was the first to recognize this. All right. And everyone gets on Trump. That he's trying to make a fortune. He's a businessman trying to make a fortune. He gave up $2 million worth of salary in 4 years to veterans groups. Didn't want to take a cent. Just like Kennedy did. He's a nationalist. Okay? Charismatic nationalist. Where do you think the communists went when the Soviet Union fell? You think they just disappeared and gave up when they said they wanted world domination and they wanted to bury us? No. They went to these organizations that all sound good and sit there and say it's for the kids and this and that and everything else. I hope to God that we stopped giving to the UN Relief Agency that had people sitting there partake in that 7 October disgrace against the Israelis. Butchery. They're monsters. Don't give them any money. Why are we giving Palestine money? There isn't a single Palestinian in Palestine that didn't support Hamas. They all support Hamas. Hamas was a political party elected into office continually, unanimously just about. So they're all sympathizers. Let the Israelis deal with things as they do. They're going to sit there and have to rule that area for a while. Speaking of Iran's claiming Antarctica, let's just leave that alone, like they're going to really be able to claim it. China is claiming the moon. Okay. Look, folks, there's a lot of nationalism going around. Okay? Now, in the history of empires, we're on the tail end of ours. Most empires are great periods of every country, like England and everyone else, lasted about 300 years. We've been around for 250. The 20th century was our century. Okay? My century. That's mine and my parents' century, for you kids out there. And we screwed it up for you in the 60s. We did. The hippy dippies screwed it up for you. Okay? That's when all this leftist stuff really started taking hold. They control everything. They're not leftists. They're not progressives. They're Marxist communists. The only difference between communism and Marxism and socialism, Marxist socialism, is control. Fascism, yeah. Control of the means of production, which means you. Or ownership of the means of production, you. You either a citizen or a subject. Someone's subjecting you. Okay? Make up your minds, folks. The only thing you got left is your freedom to speak, and that's being taken away quickly. You're being canceled if you sit there and disagree with the norms. You saw that during COVID. I mean, what does it take to wake some of you folks up? Connect the dots, people. All right? Now, hey, here's our compromised president. All right? Now, he's sitting there putting sanctions on Russia again. More sanctions. Now, twice before, he sat there and said, okay, we're going to put really hurtful measures. This is the fourth time. And the last two times, he said, these are the most extreme sanctions we can put on them. Of course, he left the mayor of Moscow's name off the list. Okay? Yeah, the one that gave Hunter $5 million. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. He allowed Putin to get his cruise, his yacht, his big ship, personal ship, out of Bremen, Germany, okay, in time just before the first sanctions, just before the invasion of Ukraine. He got that out of Germany. And he sits there and he's making Russia rich. And that's why Russia's able to sit there and continue the war. And at the same side, he wants money for Ukraine. You know why he wants money from Ukraine? Because all this stuff, the Steele dossier stuff that Hillary bought, and now the new Russia thing is coming from Ukraine. Okay? That's why President Trump called Zelensky right after his election to talk about corruption in Ukraine. See, Zelensky knows where all the bodies are buried in this whole get Trump thing and the whole Biden scheme. Okay? The Biden money-making scheme. Ukraine was known as one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. Okay? Now, hey, we're telling... He wants money for them, but at the same time, he's sitting there buying Russian oil through Indian refineries. Russia's sending the oil to India to get refined, crude oil, and then they're selling it to us. That was at least $1 billion, okay? He sat there and put a hiatus, in other words, a pause, okay, on any liquid natural gas going to Europe. Well, why do that? You're making them buy from Russia. These are idiots in charge of us. Either that, they're playing both sides for a reason. And I think it's because Zelensky knows everything about the Bidens and has all the things to lock them up. So he doesn't know what to do. He's got to sit there and defend Zelensky. Okay, but he's paid off a bunch of Russians, so he's got to sit there and let them sell oil. So he sits there and painted himself into a corner. And just like being on stage, he can't find his way out of the corner. Okay, and now he's got to reverse all his stuff that he reversed to begin with to make all his start on the border. The first thing he did was put 15,000 pipe layers out of work by canceling our pipeline, after the union had given him $15 million in campaign contributions. Okay? And, I mean, this guy, you can't make it up. Now he's sitting there reversing some of his decisions and rewriting. He should just clip and paste them. Clip and paste the old Trump ones. He might be doing that. I don't know. He's pretty lazy. He's plagiarist anyway. All right, he's been proven plagiarist. So we've made Russia rich. Russia has tons and tons of cash. They can keep this war going forever. Okay? And now Biden is desperate to save his buddy Zelensky so that Zelensky doesn't spill the beans about all this Steele dossier stuff and the international intelligence movement against Trump, because he was an anti-globalist. That's exactly why. Okay? He was going to shake up the system, and he did shake up the system. He's going to shake it up more when he gets in there this time. And it's just about proving he's going to do it. All my black students are for Trump. I find that amazing, you know. One of them said that they're only for him because he sniffs kids' hair, or against Biden. Okay? So now we got the Russia thing again, and it's coming from where? The Ukraine. And also, I'd like to know who put the old head of the London CIA post, station manager, in charge of the CIA. Who recommended that to Trump? One of the most fervent anti-Trumpers, and part of this whole scheme of the Steele dossier crap in the first place, with Hillary, okay, in the first place, and they made her CIA director. And the intelligence community was deadly against Trump. I don't know. I'm an ex-intelligence person. I'm an ex-spook. I don't understand why the intelligence community is so anti-Trump. They should really be for him. Okay? He would really do a lot for them. Okay? Now, all this Steele dossier stuff was proven false before, and now they're bringing it up again. They just won't let things die. They're bringing it up again. It was already proven false, and that it was Hillary bought. In fact, people warned the Justice Department, okay, that it was unproven stuff, unverifiable. Okay? Well, the World Economic Forum presses on and tries to oppress us. But remember this, okay? Let's look at what the new president of Ecuador warned us about. He said that he was the murder capital of the world when he took over. They had gangs that were running a parallel government. We got a parallel government running out here, too. And it's Marxist. Okay? It's the combination, it's fascist combination of the media, big tech, business, and the government, all conspiring against you. Not Trump. Trump's only a symbol. Okay? They want to take every single right you have away from you. And they're atheists, too. So you better believe it. Okay? They want you worshiping the state. In fact, there was one that came out and said, your rights do not come from God, they come from the state. Oh, boy. Okay? Now, they're anti-Semite, they're anti-Christian, too. Because Judeo-Christian values are what this country was founded on. In fact, the first reading instruction material, okay, readers, were the English Bible. They didn't have any English textbooks in school. No, they used the Bible. Okay, we had a chaplain, we still do, in the United States Senate and the United States Congress. We were based upon Judeo-Christian values. Okay, not religion, values. Okay, we're talking about philosophy. Now, what's your response? How do we fight this? Besides sending the junkyard dog in there to do our dirty work, we have to sit there and protect our rights and responsibilities right here at home. You start at the grassroots. Okay? Don't let these local politicians get up there and change things. Question them in town halls. Get them before they promote themselves up the chain of command there. Okay? And get in with the in crowd. Okay? Let's stay with the out crowd. The Trump crowd. Okay? That's the smart decision. And remember, Democrats will always sit there and accuse you of doing something that they're doing themselves. And it's been proven. I mean, this was the party of slavery, and the party of Jim Crow, and the party of the KKK under Wilson, the resurgence of the KKK, and also Bedford Forrest, the Democrat that started it in the beginning after the Civil War. But anyway, resurgence under Wilson, who was a anti-Semite and a racist. So if they're anti-Semite, they're anti-Christian too. Remember that. Okay? They're against all of us. They're just they need division. When Marx wrote his thing, he did not have a middle class. It was just the oppressors and the oppressed. Okay? There you go. Those that live down in the slum and those that live in the mansions. That's all he had. A strong middle class will defeat Marxism and communism every time. That is why Obama and now Biden doing his best to destroy the middle class. Okay? Which is a shame because the black middle class was really growing by leaps and bounds, okay, before Obama. Go figure. He's one of those people that thinks, I got mine. I don't care if you get yours. And that's the way Democrats are. And they also believe the end justifies the means. They will do anything to get to their end goal. And they're not Democrats anymore, not in the old-fashioned sense. They're progressive, Marxist, okay, socialist. And they're trying to turn this country into their vision of a socialist utopia. And history proven that socialism killed over 100 million people in my century alone. Okay? And it has never worked. Well, God bless you folks. Take care. I love you. I remain your humble servant. There has never been a country as great as America. And I want us to get past that 300-year mark where most empires have failed. So it's up to you. I'll be long gone. But I want it for my kids and my grandkids. Take care. Love you.